Who would be the audience for your media project, and how did you attract/address your audience? Audience reception theory is a theory first proposed by Stuart Hall and is something we thought a lot about when making our film. This is how an audience can view a text in different ways depending on how their social situation differs or relates to the one being shown on screen. Similar situations and preferences in what they'd like to be seen being shown result in a dominant reading, the preferred message of a film. If the social situations or preferred readings of the audience are not displayed on screen, the audience can take a negotiated or oppositional reading from the text. This would mean a less content film audience. Our media project would attract a niche audience of mainly middle-class, middle-aged to elderly men and film media students due to the genre, film noir. As our target audience are mainly people who are already fans of film noir, by playing to the codes and conventions, as well as displaying aspects they'd relate to in choices like casting and wardrobe, we would obtain a dominant reading from them. We filmed in colour but decided to convert it to black and white in the edit. Though many of the films we looked at in our research task were in colour, like Brick and Memento, the first film noirs were in black and white as colour film had not yet been invented. Because of our target audience's age or interest in the original film noirs, we decided they'd respond better to a black and white film. However, we chose to keep the dialogue-based parts of the film in colour. This is partly an artistic choice so as to show the stark difference between these scenes and the ones shot on location at the brick sofas. However, by keeping part of it in colour, we also bring the film noir genre into the present era. The mix of modern and vintage is something our older audience should be able to relate to, having lived in both eras themselves. Using a male lead of young middle age was a deliberate choice to appeal to our target audience. This main character is hopefully someone our audience will be able to relate to and empathise with. By choosing a lead that is similar to younger age than our target audience, we increase the likelihood they can relate to him. This makes him a more engaging character and boosts the audience's opinion of the film. Typically, older generations are more likely to respond well to mystery in films. Whereas the current generations have most things explained to them, the previous generations had to work things out for themselves. When the question, "Do you enjoy mystery in films?" was posed to our target audience, 6 out of 7 answered yes they did. The one who did not was Thomas, who, at 27, is the youngest member of our focus group. Therefore, it seems keeping our lead as an enigma would appeal to our target audience specifically. We kept the mystery in our film through lighting. For most of the film, our lead's eyes and part of his face were obscured by shadow, either from the brim of his fedora or, in the question and answer scenes, precisely positioned lights. By barely getting a clear look at his face or seeing into his eyes, a lot of his inner emotions and inner thoughts that would usually be given away by expression are hidden from the audience. This leaves the audience guessing. The use of the knife in the opening of our scene was specifically chosen as an act of a violent nature to allude to the fact that our film will cover some more challenging subject areas. Violence in films is something that generally male audiences respond well to, with every male in our target group saying they enjoy the action parts of films, like chase scenes and fights, best. With the showing of the knife in the subject area, a lost girl/woman, alluded to in the dialogue of our film, would best fit an audience that were mature enough in years to deal with any of the issues raised and a typically male audience who are most responsive to action and thrills in film. The wardrobe choice for our characters are suits and a fedora on our main character. These are outfits that connote class, wealth and status. As a film noir, our film is most likely to attract a niche audience of people from a generally higher class, if only for the fact that it is in black and white. Therefore, by having men dress similarly to themselves or people they know, they are more likely to relate to the film and acquire the dominant reading. The preferred dominant reading would also be obtained when our audiences are satisfied by the codes and conventions of a film noir. As our audience are likely to be people who have already had an interest in this genre, by pandering to or purposefully changing previously established codes and conventions, we can elicit a positive response from our target audience. How we did this is explained in our next evaluation video.